What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers.
Well, Tom Jones here tonight.
Till the end of time.
If you saw Joker 2, come in the comments. Needs now. I'm going to start belting this out like Joaquin Phoenix in Joker Folie, Deux. Welcome to MMT. Live, always live, never on tape. And we don't read a teleprompter like Grace Randolph. Just got out of Joker 2, Joker Folie, Deux. And I'm stoked tonight because I just saw cinema. Anybody who doesn't recognize that this film is pure cinema, at least that aspect of it, from a technical standpoint, what I watched tonight is where I want to be. I want to watch cinema like Joker Folie, Deux. Get ready. Here we go. It's time for the MMT evaluation live from the City of Angels here on this Sunday night. Oh, actually, my bad. Monday night. Let's do it. Just got out of Joker 2. Warner Brothers had those early access screenings. If you saw it tonight, come in the comments. I know this is going to be a polarizing film. I get it. But you can tell by the way I'm amped and from everything I've already said over the Tom Jones track that I really like this film. I'm a very big fan of this film. Let me show you where I was moments ago at AMC 16, the IMAX. That is me. You see me in the exact same football kit, Norwich City tonight. Why purple? Joker. Come on, man. These things are organized. They're well thought out. We're live, but this stuff's sort of planned, okay? And you can see that I'm pretty damn excited. Because as you read, this is cinema, man. I want more Joker 2s and a hell of a lot less Avatar 2s. Anybody who recommends Avatar 2 over Joker 2, you can go ahead and cancel their ass. Because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're dumb as hell. They're like McDonald's eating idiots. I don't want to hang out with those people. You watch Avatar, you might as well go and have your Happy Meal because you're a boring ass generic human being like that film. Yeah, I'm going to hammer Avatar for a second because some of y'all think that's cinema. That's not fucking cinema. That's metaverse garbage, Viewmaster trash from James Cameron. I got to sit through how many more of those? I'm not watching another Avatar. Fuck that movie. And fuck Cameron for making me sit through it. I want to watch more Todd Phillips. I want to watch more cinema. I'm going to watch more Joker 2s. I don't think we're going to get Joker 3. But I do really enjoy and appreciate what he brought to us here in this sequel to Joker. Some people are going to say, well, you don't need one. We didn't need a sequel. I read that. We didn't need one. Well, I'm sorry. How many times do we get sequels that we actually need? Give me a fucking break. That's so dumb to even say. We didn't need a sequel. I don't think we needed a sequel. Well, you got one. Let's evaluate the film we got instead of bitching about whether we should get it or not. I'm already in a surly mood because I got to listen to people, all these wannabe fake-ass critics out there saying this is boring. This movie sucks. This is terrible. Imagine someone saying Megalopolis is cinema and Joker 2 is trash. Guys, this world's upside down, man. This film kicks total fucking ass. Okay? I have some issues with it, but I'm going to break it down and tell you why. By the way, what do you see? I got Cinema Score tonight. Look what I gave it, an A. So right now, this film's already doing better than a lot of the so-called critics who say it's so terrible. I'm helping this film out, and I am giving it because it's earned. It's an earned A for Todd Phillips and Joker Folie Deux. Let's take a quick peek at the trailer, give you an idea of this film. I'm not going to get too much into spoilers here tonight, but I do want to show you the filmmaking, right? Because we're going to focus on technical prowess tonight by Todd Phillips. That is the highlight of Joker 2. Here's a taste of the trailer.
2 years ago, the name Arthur Fleck hit Gotham like a hurricane.
The trial of the century.
They believe Arthur Fleck to be some kind of martyr. Well, he's not. There's a monster.
When you're smiling, when I'm smiling,
When I first saw Joker, when I saw you,
the whole world smiles with you.
for once in my life, I didn't feel so alone anymore.
When you're
In just watching this trailer, you see every element I'm about ready to praise. I'm going to leave it up in the background as we go through the elements that make this film pure cinema. And it starts with Todd Phillips' direction. How often do we talk about here on MMT the importance? Obviously, there's one person, the number one most crucial person on any movie set is the director. And if the director has talent, not just semi-talented, is a towering directorial talent, which I am proclaiming Todd Phillips as such here tonight. Because, listen, as a director, it takes balls to make some of the choices that he makes in this film. And the fact that he had the cojones to go there and to put together this very risky film, right? I mean, some people are going to say, is it a musical? Yeah, there's a lot of musical numbers, but it's not a musical. I wouldn't call this film a musical, but there's a shit ton of singing. There's a lot of songs, but it's not really a musical, but it's right on the border. But the number one aspect of this film, and you're seeing it fly by in this trailer, it's the cinematography. Guys, if this is not up for Best Cinematography at Oscars 2025, it's another one of these we got to disband the Academy. We have to just it's gone. They're done. We're going to start over. And I'm going to start with the new Academy. If this doesn't happen, if this film does not get a cinematography nomination, then I'm going down to Beverly Hills. I'm going to pick it outside, and I'm going to demand that every member of the board resign, and I'm going to take over. We're going to pull an Arthur Fleck via me taking over the Academy. So anyone wants to join me for that, I'll be there in Beverly Hills if this doesn't happen. Because every shot in this film is just fire. Okay, and it's not just the framing, it is the extended takes, it's the oneers, they're all over this film. And that is, again, goes back to Todd Phillips and that visual storytelling eye. And because this film is larger in scope, it's a more demanding film, this is a greater achievement in filmmaking than Joker was. It is. I'm 100% right on this, by the way, because MMT's got a 999 batting average. You guys know that. So this is a bigger directorial achievement, this film, than the first. And the thing is, so many people don't even see this shit. I can't help you. I say this so often on this channel. I can't help you if you're blind to this shit. That's not my problem. That's a you problem. You can't see it. I can't help you. You either have the gift of recognizing what you're seeing as being elevated, quote, pinging the top of the meter, as we talk about so often here on MMT. Either you can identify that or you can't. And a lot of people just don't have it. They don't have the gene. They don't have the talent to do what we're doing here tonight. And the cinematography bleeds right into the editing, which is perfect. Because when you're putting a film together like this, where you're doing all these musical numbers, right? You got to remember, it's not just the images. You have to sync it to the music, to the actors who are actually singing these songs on set. Let me tell you how important that is. And the sound here, again, better be up for an Academy Award. Better be one of the 5 nominees in sound. What I love in any film, go back to Les Mis, the 2014 version, was the 13 or 14. You guys know what I'm talking about with Jackman. That film was all sung live on set. Right? When they're actually in the scene. What a difference that makes. You don't understand. How many times have you watched a film where someone is lip syncing? You're like, this is terrible. It's ADR'd. It just doesn't sync up. This, you can tell. I don't know if it was Gaga who told Phillips to do this. Joaquin took a lot of balls to do a lot of the stuff he's doing singing wise, right? Because he's doing it live on set. The first time he breaks into song, he's in the Arkham Asylum and he is watching television. All of a sudden he breaks into song and he's singing it there on that set right then. Okay. You can feel it. Back to Les Mis, same thing. That counts. Like, you don't know how important that is. These little touches are things that are going to make me go higher and higher on my score, because this goes back to the direction, the calibration, and the talent level of Todd Phillips, and really, again, assembling this film and making it flow in a way that most directors just wouldn't be able to do. Singular directorial talent. So if Phillips is not up for an Oscar for best director here, again, we're doing it wrong. Listen, screenplay, we're going to talk about in a minute. Just give me a second. We're going through the technical aspects, because you got to remember, direction is essentially, bringing the picture to you, the entire story, how it's packaged, the way it flows, and narratively does it cohesively fit together and present itself as a quality film. So under those guidelines, this is one of the best films of the year. Not a question. This is the best directed film along with The Substance. And, of course, our other big favorite this year, Handling the Undead. But this film is hard. Listen, Substance is very difficult to direct, and so is Joker 2. So remember, when we're going to put people and pit them against each other, and we're trying to figure out who belongs in Best Director and who doesn't, we're always going to go for the higher degree of difficulty. And when you talk about a Joker 2, Folie, Deux, you're talking about a high degree of difficulty. Same with Substance. It's not an easy film to bring together and to make it work and flow the way it does. And this film does, along with Substance. They're 2 best films of the year right here, along with Handling the Undead, which no one's seen. But back to the assembly of this film, from the cinematography edits to the sound, all of that, the way it is appearing to you. I'm sitting there in IMAX tonight just going, this, again, go back to it. When we talk about all those elements working at the level that they are here, it's cinema. It's cinema. We have had Challengers, cinema. We've had Substance, cinema. We have had Joker 2, cinema. Okay. These other films aren't cinema. Avatar 2 is not fucking cinema. Don't even, if you're saying that's cinema, you're fucked. You're James Cameron, and you're here with an alias, and just go away, James, because you've wasted your entire career on Viewmaster metaverse bullshit. What a fucking waste of a career to go from Aliens and Terminator and all these great things, and then you give us Avatar. Is someone paying Cameron to make us sit through that shit? Like, this is how you really want to live. You want to live in the metaverse. The fuck I do. I don't want to live in some damn metaverse. Bunch of blue fucking weird people. Oh, but look, it's a better version of you. I'll just be a better version of myself here in reality. How about that, James? How about that, Avatar? But back to this film. Let's talk about the performances, because I think we go from the technical and we go to performances. We'll get to screenplay last, because that is where I am going to have a few issues. But we're going to talk about Joaquin Phoenix. And when you're in the midst of Joaquin Phoenix doing his thing on the big screen, you are in the presence of greatness. Okay. And, I know this is going to piss off a lot of critics. They're so angry that he walked away from that Todd Haynes movie. Oh, he's a terrible person. First of all, you're not involved, so shut the fuck up. Okay, let me just make sure that's clear. You're not involved with the movie, so why are you worried so much that he walked away from Todd Haynes? First of all, and not only that, you shouldn't let that even enter into any evaluation of Joker 2. It's a 0% of the grading. 0. I don't care what Joaquin Phoenix walked away from. I don't give a shit. I'm watching the film. We're watching Joker 2. We're not here casting blame on Joaquin Phoenix for him walking away from that film. It's a whole separate thing. So don't bring that into the evaluation. When you're watching Joaquin Phoenix, you're watching one of our greatest living actors. So whenever he is doing his thing in here, I think what he's doing here, degree of difficulty is more difficult than Joker, because you've got to sing. I'm sorry. Anytime you're going to go and walk on a tightrope and I need you to sing live as we capture this on film, that's a higher degree of difficulty. So should he be nominated again for Best Actor? 100%. I mean, are you kidding me? Who's going to be better than this? Who's going to have to do more in a film? Oh, but he won last time. I don't care. Are we going to play that game? We're going to play that game like we did with Cate Blanchett and Tar. Oh, but she won already. It was the best performance of the year. Who cares? The fact she didn't win? Cate Blanchett didn't win? You gave it to you gave it to Everything Everywhere when you had one of the best performances ever? We're not doing that. I'm never doing that. And as such, Joaquin Phoenix is in. He's one of your 5. Not even up for debate. Let's talk about Lady Gaga, because she looks great here. Can I just say, before I get into what she does, she looks really good here. Listen, this is superficial, but it is what it is. This is the best she's ever looked on film. And we'll start with that, and then we'll go deeper. Okay, we'll start surface level and go deeper. The other thing I want to mention about Gaga in her role here as Harley Quinn, for the people who saw this film in Venice and were like, she's not in the movie. I don't know who these people are. I don't know how these people are able to operate on a day-to-day basis and watch a film like Joker 2 and not identify that she's in a very substantial portion of the film. The fact that someone said you blink and you miss her, or she's barely in it. What did you want exactly, Mr. Clueless Reviewer? Pick one. They're all the same. They all suck. Look, guys, there's literally 5 people in the space. Yes, you're talking to one of them here, who are talented at this. The rest of them are pretenders. They might have their Pulitzer Prizes, but they also recommended Megalopolis. So that renders that the equivalent of Homer Simpson's Grammy that he won and threw in the trash. When you look at Lady Gaga in this film, she is supporting, no question, but it's large enough to register as a supporting actress contender. Now, I have to see everything in order to see if she's in, but did she give me what I wanted out of this role? She has to sing. She has to do her thing. Yes. The answer is yes. So she's definitely a viable candidate for supporting actress. There's a lot of films to get to, but she has to be at least strongly considered for one of the 5. Okay? And I'm not just saying that because the Gaga fans will come after me if I don't. You guys know I don't play that game. I'll take all these slings and arrows. Roll up. Are you kidding me? Every time I walk into a press screen, I see all these chumps and I look at them and I go, you got something to say to me? Roll up. Okay? No, because they are completely talentless. So I just laugh. It's mockery. You guys are so bad. You know that, right? You guys are really terrible at this. But the thing is, it's always wild to me, and we're gonna get into a few more things. I just want to let me hammer some critics for a second because I love doing this. The amazing part about the majority of critics, they have very little talent and egos that are so overmatched versus what they actually bring to the space that it's almost like you are fucking Arthur Fleck in Joker. Like, you are literally that version in real life. You have split, you're fractured. You're not even, do you understand that you are completely untalented, and yet you walk around thinking you are literally a god? You're not even. First of all, there's only a few people that are good. Have I mentioned that in this space? The fact that the majority of the people in this space you cannot trust, and I don't make me get into all the names again. I'm not going to do it tonight. But this is another example tonight. Everybody who bashes Joker 2 says this film is terrible, this film is boring, this is a totally unworthy sequel to Joker. These people are to be mocked. These people are to be discarded and disregarded because they don't know of what they speak. So just ignore them. This is cinema. This is one of the best films of the year. There are issues, but this has been a very bad year. There's no way in hell this isn't one of the 10 best films of the year. It's better than Sing Sing. I got an email today about Sing Sing. Come watch Sing Sing. Let's make it an Oscar film. The fuck, dude. This film, first of all, as a prison drama, this is better than Sing Sing. So, head to head, as a prison tale, Joker 2 better than Sing Sing. So if Sing Sing gets in over Joker 2, that's it. I'm done. It's done because it's even a matchup in similar feel and theme. So give me a fucking break. Here's what I'll tell you. I also love about this film. It has a very bold ending, right? And anytime, and some of you aren't going to love the ending, and I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to say that Todd did it, and I like it. And I can't say anything else without ruining the film, so I don't want to do that. But I'm going to tell you this. When people ask me what films that I always go back to and the films I love the most, the films that I recommend the most, they are always going to be from a bold storytelling standpoint, an ending that is uncompromising, you did not expect, and that feels real and not forced and 100% grounded, and this does. So it passes all those tests, therefore bold, winning ending. Now, I do want to touch on something before I get into a couple things that I think the film needs. People talk about the budget here. Budget's $200 million. Okay, that's a lot. It's a lot more than the first one at 60, I believe. So we're talking about a much bigger budget. We'll talk about this more on Thursday night when we talk about box office and all that. I don't want to get into that tonight. But I just want to mention something, just a little point of reference for you. When we get a sequel, remember that every actor, the director, everybody in this thing that wants to come back, or maybe doesn't want to come back, they have the cards. They can do whatever they want. Joaquin Phoenix can ask for whatever amount of money he wants. He can ask for $50 million, and essentially Warner Brothers is going to give it to him because they want to make the film. The first film made $1 billion. We need him or we can't make Joker 2. Therefore, you have the leverage. Todd Phillips has the leverage. So if you're asking me how this film go to $200 million, first of all, scope's bigger. And also, when you have a sequel, you're going to get a negotiation that is going to be one-sided for everybody involved in the first. That would be Joaquin, and that would be Todd Phillips, the two big components of getting this thing made. So you're talking about really just a blank check. So if you're asking me where this money went, there's a lot of it right there. People forget about that all the time. Like, well, I don't see this $200 million. Well, you see it in Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips. You guys understand that. Hopefully you guys understand. Lady Gaga also is going to come in, even though, right, she wasn't in the first. She's still a big name. She's going to draw people to the film. I know some of you don't love Lady Gaga, but you got to understand there's a whole fan base that is now going to be more juiced to see this film because she's in it, right? You get that. Why do you think that you see a Harry Styles in films, right? When you see him in what was the movie I actually really liked, the other Warner Brothers one, Don't Worry Darling. I really like that film. I'm one of the big fans of that film. But why is he in that film? Does he really need to be? No, but he brings in an audience, right? Plug and play. You bring in more people. That's what Lady Gaga's here for. But she also backs it up here. So it's not like, oh my God, she's a liability. That would be a problem. Here's an issue with the film I think is very fair. It definitely needs a trim. It comes in over 2 hours, about 2:10, 2:15, somewhere in there. I can tell you that there's spots in this film that need to be compressed. I always have that note. It's almost unilateral, right? Doesn't matter what the film is, unless it's 125. I'm going to say we need to condense this thing, bring it in, and tighten up the screws and bring me in at about I'd see in this film about 155. So I would lose about 10, 15 minutes, maybe a musical number, maybe tighten up one of those numbers. Some of them bleed on the long. You know, it's interesting. You talk about a film like Joker 2. Some of the songs there's a lot of songs, okay? So earlier I said, is it a musical? I mean, yeah, yes and no, but I think there's a way to condense some songs, not condense a song like a Rocket Man. I remember watching Rocket Man going, wait a second, I'm now like into the song that we're listening to from Elton John, and all of a sudden it's like it's gone because it's a jukebox. It's like next song. So I think there's a happy medium between letting the entire song play and like 25 seconds. So you've got to, again, that comes back to directorial calibration. So I think Phillips, if there's one note for him in this, and again, it's all praise for him creating the cinema here tonight, it is just to bring things in a little bit, tighten it up. And had Warner Brothers allowed me to see this film early, I would have given that note. And of course, Todd would say, whatever, who's this guy? And then they'd watch the stream and go, well, actually, this guy's fucking brilliant. So I think we should bring this film in at about 155, Todd, maybe 2. I think we should lose 10 minutes of it. And Weber's always right. So remember, the comments will tell you, Weber's always right. So Warner Brothers should know that. They have executives there who've watched the channel. I'm very much aware of that. So as such, there's your note. Otherwise, this film is what I want to watch. This is where I want to be. This is where you should want to be. You want to be in a movie theater experiencing cinema. It's a very high grade. It's a 92% for us tonight. A-. It's not a masterpiece. I wouldn't go that far. I know Menzel called it a masterpiece. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch the film again, but I'm way higher than most people in this film. Okay. And you're probably, after everything I just said, you're like, how's this not like at a 97? Because remember, Substance is going to be my number one film of the year right now. That's coming in at like a 9. What do I have at 96, 97? It's way up there. It's like, it's almost flawless, right? When you talk about a Joker right there, Handling the Undead is probably in there about 94. So these are top 3 films of the year. Handling the Undead, Substance, and Joker 2. 3 best films of the year. And anybody who has these, doesn't even have these films listed, again, disregard them. They don't know what they're talking about. We are the cinematic champions here. We are the number 1 film destination anywhere. Nobody beats us. Nobody. Certainly not Grace fucking Randolph, and definitely not Film Threat. Oh, fuck. Gore would still, if I was quickly, because I saw Gore tonight, if Gore was doing the stream, he'd still be talking about the synopsis. Robert, film was great all around. Cinematography, directing, acting, editing, sound design, all top tier stuff. My audience applauded at the end of the film. No doubt the ending is divisive. Yes, Robert, you saw the same film. I'm glad to hear that. I think a lot of people will be in our camp. And I think a lot of people are going to now, again, second guess critics like they should, because we've said it so many times. This channel's founded on bashing other critics. And people say, well, why do you do that all the time? Because you have to push back. Because remember, just because someone has a voice doesn't mean they deserve it. That doesn't mean we need to silence them. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you don't need to listen to them. Because just because you have a crown on your head does not make you the king. And there's too many people in the space with Burger King crowns calling themselves film critics. Okay? Only a few of us have actual jewel encrusted crowns. Dieter, no 15-minute synopsis. Listen, we got to it. I even played a little trailer. We played some music. This is why we're the champs, guys. Come in, give me a thumbs up. We destroy everybody else, and everybody who comes in and goes, yeah, even the haters are like, fuck, I just can't. He's good. Let's just hear haters just admit defeat and welcome yourself into the dark side of MMT, even though we're truly the light side. Grace Randolph didn't like it. She loved Megalopolis. This is why Grace Randolph is our schizo critic, right? Weber, you're terrible. Remember, we still have it here somewhere. She's MMT's schizo critic because you never know. Remember, she's our critic. Essentially, if you were to have Grace Randolph as, just picture this in your head. A child at a party, getting a blindfold put on them, and then getting the stick and whacking the piñata, and occasionally tagging the piñata. That's Grace Randolph. The majority of times, she's missing the swinging piñata. Whereas we blindfolded, not just once, let's call it triple blindfolded. We're whacking that bitch and it's falling off the tree and the candy is spilling on the ground with virtually every single stream. That's MMT. Some say it won't match the opening weekend of The Flash. That's a great question. Let's talk about that on Thursday. I definitely want to, get you primed for that. Thursday night's going to be our discussion about box office with this film. Here's what I'll tell you. There's no question this film does not have the juice that the original did. There's no way anybody's going to tell you it does. In other words, has it captured the zeitgeist? No. I'm hoping streams like tonight and me helping to spread the word that this film is very strong, especially from, again, that technical filmmaking aspect, directorially one of the best, if not the best single film of the year from a direction standpoint. That's where I want to be. Okay. So we need to get that word out, but I'll tell you what, a lot of people are not as excited for this film. And you've got a lot of folks out there already saying there's no reason to make a sequel. Imagine if I came on here and just instead of saying all the things I said, like, well, there's really no reason to make a Joker 2. You'd be like, fuck, what am I watching? Is this some kind of evaluation? That's nothing. You're just saying who cares? It was made. Now let's evaluate it. So yes, there is, because of what Todd did for this film, and he did totally weird things with it, with all of the songs and certainly the musical aspect. All right. That alone warrants a sequel because it's something different. Yes, it's got the courtroom drama going on as well. That's where the compression comes in. But again, these are overall elements of cinema, everything here. So yeah, no, we'll talk about box office on Thursday. A couple more questions. Movie is technically awesome and impressive. Joaquin Phoenix gave even better performance, also while singing. I'm not sure that means the movie works. Eli, good comment. Listen, we can have that debate. At least here's what I'm going to tell you. Everything, at least you're seeing these things. The point is, a lot of people can't even go where Eli is. They don't understand this shit. And they're uneducated, McDonald's consuming generic moviegoers. And we're not that channel, okay? That's for the Zach Popes of the world. Okay? I can't believe you don't say his name. That's not what we do. Okay? What we do is why. Well, here's the deal. I've said it 100 times before, 1,000 on this channel. We've done how many streams? Every time. How many times have I told you guys direct messages from directors, from producers, all the time on Twitter? Because they go, dude, as much as you get, you fucking know your stuff and you're very good. I go, thank you. But here's the reality, is that not everybody can do this. I've said it a million times before. Eli, I love the fact that you can see these things. I can debate with you some of the aspects of whether the whole thing, totally fires as a screenplay, as overall film. But remember, I'm always going to go high on my grading scale when the tech and all of the elements, the individual elements are pinging the top of the meter. We are going to have a high grade. It doesn't, as long as the film, but just let's be clear. I got to make sure this is clear. If anyone says that a single element of Megalopolis even comes remotely near any level of filmmaking in Joker 2. I mean, this is some of the worst opinion sharing in the history of cinema, if you think that. Megalopolis across every single level is one of the worst fucking things ever made. And the fact that I've got Pulitzer Prize winning critics telling you to watch it tells me that, again, we are in a space of frauds. We are full, man. If the Pulitzer Prize winners are frauds, how do you think the rest of them are, right? That's the thing. It's just that's why I get so angry so often. Hollow script, excellent direction. Mulchi, listen, I disagree on the hollow script, and a couple more comments. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I love the aspect of Harley Quinn being this manipulative. I'm so tired right now. Manipulative, right? Muse, and she is essentially playing Joker throughout, and the fact that at the end, right? Joker has to come to the realization that this bitch used him is listen, that's universal. That's a universal. Everyone has felt that way. So I disagree with the fact that this script's hollow. Totally disagree. Because again, this is a character in Arthur Fleck. This is a human being who, while completely bonkers, is still just looking for connection in life. And I think so many people out there are lonely, right? They just don't have someone else. They're friendless, as they talk about in this film. And I think that's what spoke to a lot of people in the first one, the incel aspect of this. And I think this film dials in on, hey, this female is attracted to me for whatever reason. And we find out there are alternative reasons, and she has an agenda, obviously. But that whole aspect of being played romantically is something I think everybody can certainly identify with. So I disagree with that 100% about the hollow script. I think you just got to look for it. You got to, especially if you've experienced these things in life. Anytime you watch a film, you're going to take things from it. If it presents it, you're going to take it and apply it to your own life. A couple more questions, and we will roll out of here on this Monday, and we'll be back on Thursday. You've got me more excited than I already was. Excited to see it this weekend. I hope you are, Prince, because listen, again, these are the films we're going to recommend anytime. Anytime I watch a film that looks and feels and breathes and moves and is Joker 2, it's cinema, and I'm going to recommend this film every time. And people who don't, they're just missing it. They don't understand, and that's fine. Just don't listen to them. Come here. We'll always be on the right side of history. We'll be hammering Avatar 3. I'm not going to watch that fucking movie. And we'll be celebrating Joker 2. Not a Joker 3, because I don't think it's going to happen. Bobby, I'm going to just, I know Gone Girl put me, he wants me to continue. I'm not going to do it. Avatar 2 clearly was a money laundering scheme. There's no way in fuck that movie made $2 billion. Because when you look at that film, and you remember, I go in and look at sales for Avatar 2, and there'd be like no one in the theater. I'm like, how is this film doing this well? Remember, no one was talking about Avatar 2. Remember, the last thing Disney could ever have had with Avatar 2 is it bomb. Why? Because then 3, 4, he's already making 3, 4, 5. You can't have it bomb. You can't have 3 bomb. You'll do anything to make sure it doesn't bomb. All I'm going to say. That film definitely. Listen, can you promise me if there's one thing, and if anyone, it's the last thing I'm going to ask of you on the stream before I see you on Thursday night. Do not support Avatar. Do not support that shit. Do not pay to see it. Just say no, because I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to watch Avatar 3. That's not what we want. We don't want that fucking commercial McDonald's garbage. I want to watch Joker. I want to watch cinema. I want to watch Todd Phillips in whatever he does next, and it won't be Joker 3. No spoilers. I'll see you next time. MMT, live from LA. See you Thursday night. Thanks for being here. Peace out.